Okay, good morning. Today we're going to go over modeling and solving inequalities. This is a 2-day notebook, so this is the first day. For the first day, we're going to focus on just modeling inequalities. For our do now, okay, I want you to take a second and try to match this. You should know this from previous lessons. What is the inverse of addition, multiplication, subtraction, division, and then write down what a zero pair is. Pause the video. All right, you should have figured out that the inverse of addition is subtraction, inverse of multiplication is division, inverse of subtraction is addition, and inverse division is multiplication. Remember, inverse is the opposite, okay? Zero pairs is the sum. Sum is always addition of two numbers that equal 0. So, for example, 2 plus negative 2 equals 0. Those are two zero pairs. That's a zero pair with 2, negative 2. Negative 4, positive 4 are a zero pair. Negative 6, positive 6 are a zero pair. So really a zero pair is just consisting of a number and its opposite, okay? More as a review, remember that when we solve equations, okay, our main goal is to isolate the variable. This is our goal. We isolate the variable by doing the inverse operation. Inverse, like we just said, means opposite, okay? And in our last part, okay, what you do to one side, you do to the other side. You do the exact same thing, the other side of the equation. That way you'll keep it balanced, okay? Whatever you do to one side, you do the exact same thing to the other side of the equation, so that way you can keep it balanced. All right, let's get into our topic for today. So an inequality compares two values that are not equal, okay? So equations, values are equal. Inequalities, they are not equal. Also, notice this phrase here. Inequalities have infinite solutions. So as you can see, like down here, this is saying that x is less than 2. So any number less than 2 could potentially be a solution or an answer. So 1 is an answer. 0 is an answer. 1 and 5/10 is an answer. -1, -3, -4, -5, -5 and 5/10. There's an infinite amount of numbers that can be the answer. So unlike with equations where there's only one solution, where inequality is only one answer. So let's drag down our thing. So less than is going to be this symbol, okay? Greater than is going to be this symbol. And then now we have two new inequalities to introduce to you. Less than or equal to, which is going to be still facing, all right, towards the opposite way, but it has a line underneath it. That line is what represents the equal. And then greater than or equal to, same thing. You see that the mouth is facing towards the number, but it has a line underneath it. Let you know that it can be this number or it can be equal to it. So our phrase is all numbers greater than or equal to 2 is going to go down here. All numbers greater than 2 is going to go in the second row. All numbers less than 2 will go at the top. And all numbers less than or equal to 2 will go right here. Okay? All right, so let's take a second now to build on this. So when it comes to this idea of greater than or equal to, these are some of your key words, things you're going to look for. Also how they'll work on our model, because we're going to model on our number line. Okay, so first things first, whenever it's a greater than or equal to, or just an equal to with it, when you see that, your circle is always going to be what's called shaded or closed. Okay, the circle will be shaded or closed, because what that signifies is that the number is included and whatever else it's facing. Okay, so we're going to put our dot here for 42, and this is saying that x is greater than or equal to 42. So we go to our rows, our lines, we're saying that x is greater than, so it's above 42, and it's also equal to 42. So whenever it's greater than, equal to, or less than equal to, the circle is going to be closed. Some keywords, okay? Some keywords to let us know that this is going to be greater than or equal to. When you see the word at least, when you see the word at least means greater than or equal to, okay? When you see the word minimal, okay? When you see the word minimal, that's going to mean greater than or equal to. When you see, sorry, I lost my mouse. When you see, bro, come here. not under. Not under is going to be greater than or equal to. And also we got one more over here, no less than. When you see no less than, it's going to be greater than or equal to as well. Okay? On the less than or equal to side, like we said, whenever we see that equal to our inequality, that means it's going to be a closed circle. So we'll put our we'll put our dot over to 42. And in this case, it's saying less than or equal to. So it can be any number less than 42. So there's 38, 39, 40, 41. But it also can be 42 because it's less than or equal to. Okay. Some of our keywords we'll see for that one is going to be no more than, not exceed, at most, and maximum. Okay, going down to the greater than. For greater than, our circle is going to stay open. Okay, so we'll have an open circle for greater than. And we'll put our dot over to 42, just like we've done before. And our arrow is going to face to the right. Okay, arrow is going to face to the right. So some keywords for greater than to let you know that we're dealing with greater than. Okay, it's going to be above, more than, exceeds, and over. All of these deal with greater than. And then for our less than side, our circle stays open as well. So greater than, less than, open circle. Greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, closed circle. For this one, my arrow is going to face to the left because it's saying every number that's less than 42, so 41, 40, 39, 38 are okay answers, but 42, 43, all those are not okay. So for this one, some keywords are going to be fewer than, below, and last but not least is under. Okay? All right. So now let's get some practice, okay? Putting the correct inequality sign. We've already done this in elementary school. We're just going to bring this back, also bring back in integers as we did at the beginning of the year, and in fractions as we did as well. So for 3 and 7, we're going to use the less than. 3 is less than 7. Always read it left to right. On our next one, we're saying that, let me zoom in a little bit. We're saying that 12 is greater than 9. Over here, what our negatives do, not get confused about this. -3 is actually greater than -6 because it's further to the right. Okay, so, oops, grabbed the wrong one. While I'm talking, I still did the wrong thing. So -3 is actually greater than -6 because when we look at our number line, I can see it's further to the right, it's closer to 0 than -6. As on our next one, -2 is greater than -5. And then over here, 10 is greater than -10. Last one is our fraction. Either I get a common denominator, which y'all are trash at, or I convert them into decimals. When I convert them into a decimal, I know this is 5/10. I know that 1/5 is 2/10. 5/10 is greater than 2/10, so therefore 1/2 is greater than 1 5/10. Okay? All right, let's go on to the next one. So, graphing inequalities. We already kind of did this earlier, okay? But it's going to be fairly simple. What you're going to do is, for here, we got a graph x is greater than 3. X is greater than 3. So we'll make our circle over to 3. Is it going to be closed or open? It's going to be open because remember, for greater than or less than, our circle stays open. And since it's greater than 3, it's going to go to the right. So everything to the right is going to be greater than 3. Over here, it's saying that -4 is less than or equal to x. -4 is less than or equal to x. So we'll put our circle over here. Will it be open or closed? It's going to be closed because whenever we see a greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, it's also going to be a closed circle. In this case, we're saying that x is greater than -4. So it won't be -5, -6. It's got to be greater than. So it's going to go to the right. Greater than to the right, less than to the left. Down here, let's write the inequalities. So we've got 2, and we got a closed circle. So that lets me know right away it's going to be either greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. Since it's going to the right, it's telling me that x is greater than or equal to 2. On the bottom, we got a closed circle, and it's going to left, so it's going to be less than. And this is saying that x is less than 1. Okay? All right, moving on. So now I want you guys to take a second with that knowledge you have to try to practice matching here. Match the phrase with inequality symbol and the graph. Pause the video, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Okay, so for the first one, you should have known that this was a greater than because it's shaded and it's going to the right. Okay, the matches for it, that's going to be my greater than symbol, which is down here, I think. And the one that matches it is going to be B. B is greater than or equal to -20. This actually matches my number line as well. Over here it's shaded, so this is a less than or equal to. Less than or equal to is going to be this symbol. And the one we got for that is B is less than or equal to -1. Matches my number line as well. Over here we've got a greater than. So we use our greater than symbol. And this is saying that F is greater than 9. And that matches. And then lastly, we have a less than symbol. And for our less than symbol, remember it's facing towards other number, and we're saying that F is less than 5. All right, so you've got just one more thing now. So go on to Schoology. There is a Desmos activity on number line. That's fantastic practice. Hoping you guys get a better understanding of this. Go ahead and work on that, and you are done for today. Have a great day, and good job listening.